What's up, guys? Philip with Trade Genius, and this video I wanted to discuss about the Fortune magazine came out with an article online that said nearly 4 million bitcoins were lost forever. That's kind of a big deal considering that we have such a finite supply as it is of Bitcoin. So I wanted to kind of delve into that and get into the technicalities of their study a little bit briefly, and then how does that affect price. So if we look at the article, right, so they're saying 4 million bitcoins are lost forever, and they kind of broke it out into a few different segments. Those that are out of circulation, they assume 30 to 50% are lost. Original coins, that would be what they call Satoshi coins, that would be associated with his wallet. Those were never moved. Those are 1.04 million or $8.2 billion worth of coin. Haven't ever moved. Assumed loss, but we'll get into that. Buying and selling, so when people are sending Bitcoin across the network, maybe sometimes those get lost or sent to the wrong address or something. They have proprietary metrics that they're using, and when I say they, I mean chain analysis or Chainalysis. They digital forensic firm specializing in blockchain forensic investigations, and they've been hired by the IRS. They've been also hired by Interpol, I believe. So anyway, back to this strategic investments 2%. So again, this is just some lower end transactional loss, and then they assumed any coins mined in 2007 and going forward in all likelihood wouldn't be lost because of just the steps that people are taking now to make sure that their coins are safe. So what that means is they're estimating that somewhere between 3.79 million and 2.78 million, so between 2.78 million and 3.79 million bitcoins are gone, or 17 to 23%. So I would say in a case like that, you just figure middle ground 20%. Now, that is a big assumption that the original Satoshi coins are gone, and maybe they are. They haven't moved since way back then, and maybe he even intentionally burned them. So hard to say. But if that's the case, then there's two things to think about. How does this affect price? So either price is already priced it in because of the supply and demand, even though people didn't realize that now instead of, say, 21 million total Bitcoins, there's only going to be 19 million, let's just say for round numbers. But, the supply and demand at the exchanges would kind of already have taken into account this just in the simple market transactions. So if there was 2 million less coins out there to be sold, then we've already seen the impacts of, let's say, decreased cell supply, for example. And that's just assuming that a portion of those would be people who would be willing to depart from their coins and they're not long-term holders. The other part of this would be that you have funds that do statistical analysis, and now they might raise their price estimates based on the fact that the finite supply just got more finite. So you may have a situation where now that there's been a metric applied to this, that they may now internally, these funds start having higher valuations for Bitcoin. So you could see price react. So it's not a straightforward answer, but that's kind of the dynamics that are involved in this. So just thought I would share that with you guys and kind of my take on all these lost Bitcoins. Before this metric came out, I was thinking probably over 1 million, but I wasn't thinking as high as they have it here. So that's kind of interesting. Real quickly before we wrap up, look at Bitcoin. We are at 9,900, and we have some fib targets that take us right to that big 10,000 mark. And we are about 4 in the morning Eastern, so as I've mentioned before, buying in Europe usually takes off around 5 a.m. And so we'll see what happens. Maybe by the time you guys see this video, we are at 10,000. We actually did cross that barrier on the Korean exchanges. Their price for Bitcoin's a bit more inflated, but as you can see, the demand is really still pretty strong right here. So we'll see. As I've mentioned, we are overbought, and but we do have on our hourly a long signal firing here on this hour, and so typically those are pretty strong. If you look back here, when I need to put this back, but if you look back here, this long fired and just right into this huge run up, and that was back at 84.42. So if you are interested in that signal, you can click the links below for our specials, and you can gain access to these signals. They work on hourly or daily, and on all different types of cryptos. All right, guys, that's it for today. There's my take on our lost Bitcoins. More than I thought, and maybe the market now will price in higher targets. We'll see. We were looking for 10,000 Bitcoin by January, and at this point here, I would have to say that, well, take a look at, this is a revised fork that I did. Here we are, January 2018, and middle of the road here. If this stays in this lower portion of the band, we could be anywhere from 12 to 14,000. So I would raise my estimates on year end for that area. If we poke above this, then maybe the 15,000 to 17,000 range, but we'll see. Could see a lot of volume coming into this space from now till the end of December, and that would definitely, I don't think those valuations are out of sight. We'll see what happens around the 10,000 mark, see what kind of pullback we get, and see if this tremendous dip buying mode that Bitcoin's in continues. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy what you're seeing, and I will see you guys on the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.